As an aunt of two nephews, one being 7 years old, who is mostly on social media platforms such as TikTok and YouTube, I feel that it is extremely important that us as aunts, uncles, grandmas, parents, guardians, that we stay involved and informed in what the children that we know are intaking on social media. Um, I say that we monitor them regularly, just to make sure that they are having safe and age appropriate social media experiences. Because there's a lot of things that goes on social media that a child just doesn't need to see. Um, Open conversations with your children about what they see and what they intake and what they engage with on social media will kind of allow you to gauge your child as a person. Just find out what they like, what they don't, but it'll also let you know, okay, well, my child is looking at this, maybe we need to change this or this, that, and the other. My reasons are online safety. There's a lot of cyberbullying, there are a lot of predators of every kind, scams, and just all around inappropriate content that children should not be intaking or looking at ever. And you have to watch, because people, not everybody on social media has your child in the back of their mind, like, oh, I'm not going to post this because a kid may see that. They really don't care. Another thing is digital footprint. So a quick definition of what digital footprint is basically when they say everything on social media cannot be erased. It's always there, somebody will find it. That is completely true. That's what your digital footprint is. So if I could post something today and try to delete it, somebody would still see it. And if you have a smaller child, if your child is 7, 8, 9, 10, or anything like that, or you just have a young teenager that maybe didn't think things through completely when they posted that picture or said what they said, that can really affect them in the future, as far as them applying to colleges, them getting into colleges, their jobs, things like that. That could also get them in trouble, because if your child posts anything violent or anything against anybody, that can cause for legal action, and somebody might get law enforcement involved. Mental health is a really, really big one, because most times someone with an adolescent mind, they do not understand how to separate social media from reality. Everything on social media is indeed almost picture perfect and fake. Everything that is on social media is molded so that it looks like everything is perfect. And if you have somebody that has low self-esteem, or they feel like everything else needs to be perfect in their life, that could drive them crazy. Like, they could feel like, oh, I'm not enough, or why don't I have this, and things like that. And insecure thoughts or uneasy thoughts or anything like that oftentimes lead to suicide, and we don't want any dead children around. So that's why we need to monitor what our children are ingesting constantly, because you never know. Somebody could be like, oh, well, if you don't have this, you need to go do this, and blah, 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 blah. That happens a lot on social media, and kids don't understand that it's not real, it's fake, and they don't have to have everything else that everybody else sees, that everybody else has. I'm sorry. Another reason is educational guidelines. There's a lot of fake everything on social media, so just watching out for what your child is doing. I remember at one point in time, there was a challenge where children were taking a bunch of Benadryls to try to hallucinate, essentially get high. And there was misinformation being spread that, oh, once you make it past the drowsy part, or if you don't go to sleep on said Benadryl, you're okay, you're not going to die. Indeed, that was incorrect, and a young girl did end up passing away and losing her life because of a challenge that she was basically peer pressured and talked into because of social media. And because of that misinformation, that little girl is no longer on earth with us. There's a lot of data supporting these facts about how just overall unhealthy social media can be for children, especially when it is not supervised, because you don't want the media to teach your child. That's just not what you want. Nobody wants their child to be taught by the media. Also, it's very good to get your child off of the phones and get them outside, because if they're constantly on the phone, they're constantly on social media, that could also hinder the development of their social skills. So as they get older, they may not know how to make friends. They may not understand social cues. They may not socially be on the same level as their peers, even though academically they might. But things like that could honestly cause your child to be left behind in the school system. I have personally seen it, and it can hinder your child because they simply just don't understand how everybody thinks, or just, they don't have everything else. They don't get the social cues, like I said. And that's why I believe that we need to monitor what children are ingesting on social media, constantly monitoring them, and making sure that they're looking at age appropriate and healthy things, because if they are not, we could end up with dead children.